All right. Well, I think we decided we're going to kind of talk on, since the year 2023 is closing pretty soon, or maybe 5, 6 weeks away, the year's coming to an end, and kind of what are you doing now? And the holidays are coming around. Are you kind of putting it in cruise control, you think, or are you going to be taking it easy, or you're trying to get some things finished for the year? And what does 2024 have in store for you?
Not cruising by any means. We still have the renovation that we're working on, and we make have made a lot of progress on that. And it was my goal to have it uh, up and running by the end of the year. Which now I'm kind of thinking if I could just get it booked for 2 weeks or less this year, then I wouldn't have to, since it's part of our primary residence, I wouldn't have to claim that income. So maybe that is going to be the goal at this point to just try to have it finished up where maybe we could get it booked for a weekend or two by the end of the year and then have it ready to go starting strong next year. But I don't know. I
Um,
know it just takes a long time to renovate.
I mean, I don't know exactly, and I know you probably got to talk with your tax person, but so you're trying to take advantage. Are you able to take advantage of short-term rental loophole because it's part of your primary? That's going to make it challenging, right? Because it's not strictly an Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that kind of how it works?
Yes. And I did do a lot of reading on that to see. And I think I am still able to take advantage of it, but I am going to need like really good books, essentially.
So I think one thing you have to same thing look into it. One of the tricks I think people, I don't know if it's a trick, but because it's towards the end of the year, if I think the average stay has to be 7 days or less to qualify. So if you can have it booked, with intention of being a short-term rental for this year, getting like one stay in there, average
Mm-hmm.
7 days or less, then you qualified for this year, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's how you can offset your taxes in 2023. And if you,
Mm-hmm.
just having one booking or something.
Yeah, I think you have to have at least two bookings, but I
Or
don't know for
yeah.
sure.
Okay. But yeah.
But if we don't do that, we could take advantage of the Augusta rule where we can have it booked for as long as it's booked for 14 days or less because it's our primary residence, then we don't have to claim any of it at all, like
Oh
the
yeah. Yeah.
income or use it to offset. And then I can use all of the expenses that we got, used to get it renovated on next year's stuff, which would be awesome.
Yep. Yep.
I will
Yeah.
say the finding a accountant and just like that whole process of figuring out how much that just the tax situation is going to end up costing. I have felt like I'm worried that it's going to wipe out a lot of the cash flow. So we'll see.
That's kind of where, you know, everyone talks about taxes and yeah, you can save a lot of money. But I think we're kind of on the same page a little bit where it's kind of like I can see if you're making millions and millions of dollars where you're gonna save this huge amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
But where's that point where it's almost like, do I want all this headache to try and figure out how to save a few $1,000s a year, like as far as bookkeeping and
Mm-hmm.
having to organize a certain structure. And so I think that's kind of where my mindset is like kind of how much, I mean, yeah, I'll probably save money, but how much headache is involved to have this streamlined a certain way to take advantage of all these tax advantages.
Yeah. And I think it makes a lot of sense when your goal is to scale really big, like you're saying, if you're making a lot. I just don't know that it makes a ton of sense when it comes to setting up all of these systems and processes to be like super efficient and have it taking care of itself where you're not dealing with the headache yourself. I don't know that it's super cost effective if you're not scaling really big.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, but same thing, like that's the vision. A lot of times when you first get started, I think that
Yeah.
was my vision of, oh yeah, I get, and then you're like, man, it's a lot of work to do this. And is it really that advantageous? So I think we're kind of on the same page a little bit with that. But yeah, sorry, so yeah, so how are you finishing up this year and kind of what can more dance videos for 2024 or what?
You know what? I mean, it did get a lot of I didn't have a lot of inner engagement necessarily on the video, but I got a lot of DMs from that video that people were like, I love this, like this is great, like uh my favorite post. And so I probably will do more entertaining style videos. My plan for that is I have an old TikTok account from, when everyone was stuck at home. And I did do a lot of dancing on that one. And I think I'm just going to go over there and download those videos and then move them over to Instagram and put some,
Oh, smart.
on brand content with it. So I don't have to actually recreate myself dancing again. Uh, yeah. But if anyone wants to follow me over there, go ahead. More entertainment coming. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to finish up the renovations as fast as possible. And that's been one thing that during this nicer weather, like it's hard to want to stay in the bedroom and like be working back there inside. So I think that now it's getting dark super early. So we have more time to focus on just working on that where we're not feeling like we're giving up like time that we could be outside as a family doing stuff. So we're going to focus on that. And then plans for 2024. I don't know. I think I'm wanting to get that Airbnb going, and I'll be due for our rental. Will have the lease renewal coming up in February. So I'm kind of like anxiously waiting to see if our tenants are going to extend for another year or if we'll be dealing with our first tenant turnover or how that's going to go. So that's coming up. And then we've considered moving because we have the ability to work completely remote, and so we've considered trying to get another primary residence and turn this place into a long-term rental or maybe two short-term rentals since we'll have two sides of it that could be rented out. And I don't know, so just almost trying to optimize a little bit more what we have uh, and then maybe hunt for the next deal. I don't know. We'll see. If a primary residence where we could take advantage of the 5% down for a multifamily would be awesome and super ideal, but I'm not sure if we'll uh, get that far with it or not.
Why consider moving though? Do you think like it feels like you're building something there? I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
you're making great connections and whatnot. So what's the thought process in why you may consider moving to another area?
Since we have the ability to move wherever we want, it just seems advantageous to to leverage that ability while we have it. So we wouldn't be getting rid of this place and we would probably at some point come back to this place. But it would be a chance to get into another house as a primary residence and be able to use that kind of financing and potentially acquire another rental that we would do the live and flip situation with.
Are you talking about moving like to another state or
Yeah,
just okay,
ideally.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That
Somewhere else that we could just get in affordably. And we've specifically looked at, there are a lot of states that have grant programs for remote workers. So if you move to their area and you work remotely and you're not taking a job in that state, they will actually give you like $10,000 to move there. And you can use that towards a down payment on a house. And so even something like that, we've considered trying to take advantage of.
wow, nice. So where I mean kind of if you don't mind, like where are you looking kind of?
So, I mean, the top two of those programs, there's one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And since I have family in Oklahoma, that's kind of higher on the list. And then there's one, I think, in West Virginia.
Huh?
So the Oklahoma one would pay $10,000 per person who works remotely. So we would ideally, if we got approved, we would get $20,000 to move there, and you just have to live there for a year. And so it would be a great way. And the house prices there are pretty affordable. So it would be a great way to get in on something and be able to cash flow a year out from it like really easily. And then
Sounds
West
like a
Virginia, I think
no-brainer.
is, huh?
It sounds like a no-brainer.
I know, right? It is just a lot of work to move. But West Virginia, I think, was one that paid $12,000 a person, and but I think the cost of living is just higher there, and I don't have any family there, so that's a little bit of a bummer.
Is being by family a positive or
I would say it's a positive when you're thinking I'm going to turn this into a rental, but I won't live here anymore, and I need someone close by who can deal with these problems. I'm just going to
oh
I'm pawning my problems off on my
yeah.
family, is what that sounds like. But
Well, it sounds like you're staying busy. I mean, it's tough around this time. Like you were saying too, I'm sure it's getting cold too, so it's easy to, stay inside and kind of just relax, I think. But
mhm.
you're staying busy,
So what do you have planned for 2024 other than Vegas, right?
Yeah,
That's the number one plan.
I'll be in Vegas for the one rental at a time event. I'm kind of excited for that. Yeah, I'm just trying to, just keep building the channel and hopefully get more Airbnbs to manage as much as I make fun of it. It's fun. It keeps me busy. And once you get your systems in place, it's pretty easy to manage. I mean, there's always those guests that come in and have questions, but for the most part, it kind of runs itself. So it's fun. So right now we have seven, should have eight soon. So I'm thinking and hoping maybe I don't want more than 15. I think 15 is kind of where that's enough for us, me and my partner. But yeah, just trying to get more proper Airbnbs to manage. And yeah, I think I talked about it before. Just trying to really I want to tighten up my finances so when I go
Mm-hmm.
back to get my line of credit on my primary residence, I want to try to get the maximum amount. And then I'm starting to look at my house more of just a bank already and kind of just leveraging it. Because chances are I'm gonna have to move back with my parents probably within the next year just to help out. They're getting a lot older and helping out more. And it's just easier if I just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So my house, I'm kind of just looking as a bank in a sense where I'm just gonna. I mean, I have a line of credit now, but I want to get the maximum amount, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I just want to tighten up on all my finances. So when I go to the bank, I can get the most because I think because I'm still living here, I could get up to 80% loan to value. Whereas if it was like a secondary or renting it, you can only go up to 70%.
Oh,
So for me, I don't want to move out yet until I get that new line of credit so I can get the maximum amount and then I can turn it into a rental after and then just have that line of credit for whatever 2 5 years and then generate that rental income and then that will help me also the next time I go for financing.
so then what's your plan with the line of credit once you have access to it? Are you going to immediately invest it, or where are you thinking or how you think you'll leverage it?
Um, well, I know some people that are doing private money lending and they're
Yeah.
getting good returns on that. So that's one option. And then the other thing I was thinking about is if I can find a legal Airbnb that I
Mm-hmm.
can that would make sense as a long term in case they change the laws even more. But if I can find something as a legal short term rental that makes sense as a long term, as far as the payments, then that's something I might consider because that way, then like we were talking about earlier, I can get the tax benefits of managing it myself and then
Right.
offset my active income. So that's on the table, but those are hard to find as far as I mean, it would have to only pretty much be in Waikiki because there's others on the other side of the island that are legal short term rentals. But as far as me self managing, though, those are just going to be too much of a headache if I had to do stuff for those that area. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it would have to be in Waikiki, and so there's a few. So it's kind of on the table. It's hit or miss if they pop up, but that's something I'm looking at. But also just I might just try to pay cash for something or like a burr, but do it cash and do the financing myself so that I don't have to worry about interest rates going up and down and the whole time. So I might try
Yeah.
to find something like very under market and then in Pittsburgh and then do like a full rehab. But that way I'm the bank basically and I'm not worrying about interest rates. Well, I mean the heat lock has an interest rate, but it's like a fixed rate. So
Right. And lower for sure than
lower and just interest
private
only
money.
payments too. So
Yeah. And then you can leave money in the deal if you have to. Like you're
yeah,
not uh forced to pay
yeah.
someone back.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at, and you know, hoping to get to 300 subscribers by the end of this year for YouTube. But I got like 10 overnight. But
Nice.
yeah,
See, you just have to ask people. Start
I
asking
feel
more.
weird asking people though.
Well,
I don't know.
you got to post more shorts.
I try, but it's so hard to get like the shorts because you can't make it so that I don't know. You can't make it so that a certain portion shows up, right? When people see it like listed or whatever, right? Because once you upload it, then you don't have control over what is the cover or whatever it's called.
You can't upload a separate cover, but if you're uploading it on the app on your phone, then yeah, you can edit and select the image from within the.
Huh. I thought I tried that, but it just kind of randomly seems to pick wherever in the video that
Oh, really? Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
mean, there is the little edit button when you're doing it on your phone, not on the computer, but
No, no, yeah, I seen that. I try to make because there's always like a part of it that I think might catch someone's attention. I
right.
try to make it like that,
But
and then I
is
don't
that
know.
showing up that way?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I've never followed through to see if it actually posts that way.
Well, because if not, my funny face wouldn't always be in the middle of speaking on it because I'm trying to get it like a certain part of it, and then for whatever reason, it just uploads it. Or I'm
What
trying to get
if,
your face on it because whatever video for whatever reason you're on, and I get like higher views. But
yeah, for whatever reason, I can't imagine what that is. Uh, what if you did a video where you're dancing in the background as a short? I
dancing with my
think
cats.
I think that would work.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, I don't know how bad you want 300 subscribers, but I'm here to problem solve with you. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so on the topic of social media, then aren't you considering kind of like rebranding a little bit or a little bit of a name change, or what have you been thinking about as far as
Oh
that
yeah,
goes?
yeah, I have. Yeah. So I forgot already. Mark your way to financial freedom. I know it's long, but I wanted it was gonna be just more like mark your way as the
Hmm.
main part of it, and then the to financial freedom is more just for like the YouTube actual channel name, kind of like how Dion's is. But I wanted to do leave your mark, but somebody has that already.
Oh no, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So mark your way or top mark. So I want to
Yeah.
kind of get my name in there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
people should comment below what they think or how they feel about it. But I
Yeah,
like both of those.
not about the dancing cat videos, but
No,
about the name.
but I think if you are in support of Mark doing a little more of the entertaining, I think you should let us know.
That's why I bring you on. I bring you on and Joel, and you guys are the for the entertainment. I'm trying to keep it, level, and then